Let me show you how I made this cute mini duffel bag. I did freehand all the dimensions, so here you can screenshot everything I did. If you like a longer duffel, I would recommend adding a couple inches to the length. So the very first thing I did was added my fusible fleece to my main fabric, and then I stacked my inner fabric, my cotton batting, and then my outer fabric, and I pinned those all together. And because I'm using one big piece instead of panel pieces, I did just quilt this all together with just my normal crisscross quilt, but you can do whatever pattern you like. Next thing you're going to do is add some bias binding tape to the two short ends of this entire fabric and sew that on, and make sure that you backstitch at the top and the bottom of both sides. Now we're working on the pockets. I stacked my fabric for each side with cotton batting in the middle, clipped those together, and I quilted these as well to make sure everything was cohesive. And you're going to add your bias tape to the tops and the bottom of the pocket, so the two long ends. And make sure you do this for both of your pockets. Now we're going to attach the pocket, so I made sure it's center from both sides and the top, pinned that together, and you're going to sew around these parts right here. Just do not sew the top. And the side raw edges are going to be covered by the straps, so you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure you sew around the three corners and leave the top open. Now we're going to do the strap, so you're going to take your strap piece, fold it in half and iron that, open it back up, and then fold both of the sides into the middle. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. Iron that, so basically you're folding two sides in half, and then fold that together in half one more time and iron that. So it basically thickens and makes a strap. And then you're going to sew down each side of this, and I did add some bias tape at the bottom just for a finished look as well. Now we attach the straps. I measured again to make sure it was in an even spot on both sides, and I covered the raw edge on that pocket and pinned everything down and started sewing. You start on the bottom right of the straps and you go up to your stopping point, which I did about an inch above the pocket. And I did one of those box stitches, which I got this graphic from Lauren Leeser on here. Super helpful to make the box correct. Then you turn your work inside out and attach your zipper to both sides. I pinned one side, sewed that, and then I pinned the other side and opened the zipper to help sew the other side together. Now you're going to line up your zipper with the middle of the bottom of the bag and flatten it. Open your zipper some too before you sew each of these sides on together so that you can flip your work later. Now you're going to cut out your corner squares. I did a 4x4, but I probably would recommend a 3x3 as well. So once you trace those, you cut each of the corners. Then you're going to pull your corners to a straight line, as straight as possible, no fabric poking out, and clip those all together super straight and sew down every one of those corners. So all four are going to be boxed. At this point, check your other side and make sure that everything looks good. And then the last step would be adding